What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. We're here in the cabin in Colorado, and I had a coaching call with some of our Closer Cartel, now known as Closify Elite students. And I got to be honest, this is maybe one of the most valuable calls I've ever done, and I thought it was so good that I wanted to clip up the second half and put it on YouTube for you guys, just give you some sauce and help you make more money this year. So if you're in sales or business or really anything that involves human behavior, communicating with people, and understanding the psychology that drives all buying decisions, you have to watch this video, and I guarantee you it'll be the most valuable thing that you watch all year. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Okay, we're going to learn some shit today. I'm going to teach you guys some stuff. So this is called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. This is not some made up bullshit. This is like clinical psychology driven psychological principles of human beings. Okay. So this is the hierarchy of needs. It's a pyramid. So every single human being follows these, no matter if you're LeBron James, you're Jeff Bezos, or you're Julio Campos. It doesn't matter who you are, you follow this. Okay. So your basic needs that everyone has to have. And basically the way this works is it's a pyramid. So if you don't have the bottom level, you can't have the next level, right? And ascending. So this is what you guys need to understand as sales reps and genuinely as human beings to just have better interaction with people and get what you want out of every interaction with people. Like, guys, life is people, okay? If you were the only person on this earth, we would not need to even have a language. But we have other people that we have to share life with. So we have to communicate. That's what sales is. It's communication. That's all it is. So you need to understand people and what drives people and human beings and even yourself before you can ever think about going and like closing someone or sales processing someone. Like, this is the foundation of all of that, even if we haven't really talked about it yet. So your psychological needs, base level, food, water, warmth, rest. If you don't have these, you can't even worry about anything else. The next need is safety. People need to be safe, obviously. So you ever seen somebody buying a sales call when they were like in a gunfight? No, because that's number one need is, oh, I need to get safe. Your brain overrides every other thought you have. Is like, oh, I need safety right now. Okay. This also is security, like a feeling of security. So and this even at this level, like red, you'll never really mess with because that means you're alive, basically. Orange, safety needs. This starts to get into the actual psychology of whether people buy things or why they buy things or why they want to do certain things, right? So, for example, like what would be a good offer? Okay, a make money online offer is tending to the human need of having security or safety. Like, if you heard the term job security, obviously all of us have, right? What does that mean? It means I'm not worried about my source of income, and I know that I'm going to be able to, oh, look at this red one, eat, be able to drink, and have a house, and be able to sleep in a bed. You kind of get how they're connected now? So up from that is belongingness and like love needs is what they label it as. So this is the need for human beings to have emotional, intimate relationships with other human beings. Let me let this guy in the room real fast. So if you have everything in the world, all the money in the world, but you have no one that loves you, you have no one that you're friends with, you have no one to talk to confide in, you really have nothing. And you would throw all of your money away just to have those things. And a good example of this is these super, super rich people that like never ever get a real wife, and they only pay escorts all the time. Like, that's I've seen that a lot as I've traveled the world and got in these circles of like richer people. Even the richest of people that I've met, a lot of them are fucked up in the head because they don't have their basic needs met. So they use the one thing they have at their disposal, which is money, and they go try to buy love. They go try to buy that feeling of like belonging and intimate relationship with people. Okay. Now the next thing from there is esteem needs. This is prestige, feeling of accomplishment, being proud of yourself, other people being proud of you, right? Other people talking about you or bragging about you. Human beings love that. Like, you guys definitely have met someone in your life, or probably one of your friends, that all they do is talk about themselves. Every time you're somewhere, all they do is talk about themselves. Oh, I'm so awesome. Oh, I'm so rich. Oh, I have all these things. You know why they do that is because they're insecure and they don't have this need met. They don't have the blue level here. They don't have it met. So like, me and Kishan went to a business center with this fucking dork in Miami that Someone put me in a group chat with him, and they're like, "Hey, this crypto kid wants to sell info. You guys can manage his offer." I was like, "Okay, cool. Let's meet up at my shisha place. We'll talk to the guy." This 18-year-old kid pulls up, has a fake Patek on, fake, completely fake watch, and starts talking to me about how he's made all this money. He's like, "Oh, I just made 5 million with this. I made 1 million with this. I made all this money." And we never even like really start talking about like, "Hey, bro, nice to meet you." He just started yapping about, "Oh, I make all this money." You know why? Because he was insecure about belongingness and esteem and self-actualization. The top 3 levels of this pyramid he did not have. So he felt that he had to posture himself to fit in with Christian and I and the people that were at this table. We make a lot of money, right? This kid was so insecure about that. They didn't feel he was enough to just be himself and sit there. So he had to latch out onto that money thing. Does that make sense? And then this next thing is self-actualization. This is the top of the pyramid. This is when you become a fully confident, you love yourself, you have no self-esteem issues, you have all your needs met. Like this is the goal for everybody is to what do they call this in the yoga bullshit? Nirvana or something?
I think so.
This is like when you've basically reached peak life. Like you are mentally and spiritually mature to the point where no one can really upset you, no one can make you mad. You don't lack anything. You have all the money you need. That's kind of what I'm trying to reach with my filthy rich goal. But within that goal, I have to make sure I find good relationships. I have to make sure that I didn't get this money in an ill-gotten way so that I actually feel accomplished, right? All these things. So the point of this, and you guys can go read on this on your own. I highly recommend this. But here's the point of why we're talking about this for sales. If I get on a sales call, and we'll use that crypto kid as an example. If I get on a sales call and somebody, and I've had a lot of these when I sell B2B, someone immediately starts trying to posture or brag about how much money they make. One of you guys raise your hands. What does that mean about that person? Right off the bat, like I know in a split second.
Insecure.
Yes. Why?
Because they're trying to like prove to like you that they're like worthy.
Yes. So what can we infer from that in a sales sense? Like what ammo could we gather from that to then obviously try to close that person?
He's not making that kind of money.
That's one.
That they don't have what they're saying they have.
Hit his ego.
Ego is a good one. Ego is a very good one.
That thing earlier that you said that they didn't actually earn it and deserve it.
That's also one. But think on like a psychological like driver level. So like those are like very common sense. It's like obviously if he's posturing, he doesn't have it. Like duh, right? But like
they're very ambitious. He's very ambitious.
Yeah, they are ambitious. They're ambitious. But what else? You guys are missing the big one.
I called them. It was my set, and I accidentally used main, like my SOP calendar rather than my direct calendar.
Can you re-ask the question?
So okay, someone's very insecure. We've that, right? So like obviously all of us can tell that someone's insecure because they get on the call. They're really trying to posture themselves like, oh, I make all this money. Oh, I'm this like elite businessman. So we can defer from that or derive from that. The one, they're probably not an elite businessman. They're poor. But like, what are the other real, again, I just showed you guys the pyramid. What are the real drivers of that? It's just like objections, right? If you get an objection, that's usually a smoke screen because they are not wanting to tell you the real thing. Why? It's the same thing. Why do they not want to tell you the real problem?
They're trying to fill a void that is missing in their life.
Yes. That is like the fundamental driver of every single thing ever. Okay. Like you guys, let's do a little exercise. Okay. You guys say random items that people buy, and I will tell you why they buy it. Just so you can get kind of the thinking that you need to start thinking with.
Clothes.
Tell me some random stuff.
Clothes.
Clothes. What kind of clothes?
High-end clothes.
Okay, designer. Great example. Why do I buy designer? Because I don't feel like I'm important enough by myself. So I need to latch on to this label that has a perception outside of myself to then feel like I am worthy.
Okay. Woman or sex?
That's a good one. That's a multifaceted one. So like a lot of men, especially in our space that makes a lot of money, they are like man whores, bro. And one like there's two sides to like men obviously are like horny all the time. Like I'm trying to be as Christian as possible in my life, but like even myself, I'm always trying to find hot chicks. That's just a problem that I have. But I even noticed with myself, I'll tell myself, for example, there was a time when I was sleeping with way more women than I should have been, right? I don't do this anymore. Thank God. I've matured. But there was a time when I was, and I think that it derived from probably past trauma that I had with like my father and everything. Because I never really got the love that I did for my mom. My mom was like very loving. She's the most serving woman ever. So I'm not like fucked up emotionally with women because I had a good relationship with my mother. But I think I had to become a man way sooner than I should have because of all this crazy trauma stuff. And I think I was kind of latching onto other women as that feeling of like kind of peace, if that makes sense. Because my life was war. So like it was that for me. So like that is being self-analytical of it, but that's one example. Another example is just they don't feel loved. So try to go get it from every woman. The real big driver is fear. Most men that sleep around with women, they continue to do that instead of locking down one because they are very fearful. They've probably been really fucked over by a girl in the past. Very much so. And you can take that analogy and compound that over to any sales fear. Like a fear objection is probably they got fucked in the past by something. Whether it's another offer, whether it's life, whether they're just very scared of taking risk. So that is fear. But why am I scared of taking risk? If you get to the bottom of that person, it's probably because something really bad happened the last time they took a risk. So this is, throw a couple more and then I'll keep going. That was a good one, Caleb.
So can you do course/information online?
That's like multiple reasons. One is security. I want to feel security. I like, for example, when COVID happened, I saw the biggest boom ever on my own sales calls of people trying to buy info because their jobs were not secure because COVID just laid off everybody, right? So if that's not secure, I now feel the need as a man, especially if I have a family or whatever to provide. Like that's my sole biological driver is to take care of people as a man. So why am I buying a course? Well, because I believe the course will give me financial security or financial abundance. But then what does that, it's the same thing as objections. You know, it's like a spider web, I always tell you guys. So now we're at that level. So it's like, oh, abundance, security. What does that also mean? It means I get power. I get power as a man. I get respect as a man. I get admiration. And again, let's pull up the hierarchy of needs. That's a great example. So boom, safety needs, security and safety. That's the sole base fundamental reason why people buy courses or information or coaching programs. But then on top of that, each person has their own unique psychological driver, which is the top of this pyramid, the remaining three. So it could be because they want to feel worthy. Maybe a lot of people that make money, it's because they have fucked up lives outside of it. Like Alex Hormozi is a great example. He has a shitty relationship with his father, with his family, with his friends, for the most part. Like he says this all the time himself on Twitter. So he's a sicko in business to make up for that void. Obviously, right? Even myself, I have a lot of that from just having a crazy childhood. That's like ingrained in my brain. No matter what I do, it'll always be there. So I probably seek like glory. I probably seek power. I probably seek security and abundance in the things that I do to make up for those things, which that's not a negative thing, by the way. Everyone is wired differently. So none of these are negative. That's what I want you guys to understand is you need to look at it devoid of emotion and look at it very transparently. Like, okay, this person has a shitty personal life, but he's very good at business because of it. That's not a negative. It's just a cause and effect. But also off of that one, like you said, Omar, is a feeling of accomplishment or of other people being proud of me. Maybe that's why someone wants to buy a course is because they grew up in school. Everyone in their hometown doubted them, made fun of them. They were bullied. They want to boss up. Like this is most of you guys probably. They want to boss up on everybody and prove them wrong. Look at all this money I just made. I'm the man. Right? That's a real psychological need. Every single desire fits into this pyramid. Okay? So like that was a good one. And then this is what I was saying before I said, give me one more example. What we need to start doing, and it's taken me like 3 years of thinking about how I want to teach you guys sales, the really ninja way to do this, because you have tactics and stuff. if you understand this, it doesn't matter what word tracks you know or how you know how to handle anything, because this is all you need. This is like the fundamental level of communication. So at the end of the day, everything's cause and effect in this like psychological human behavior level, right? So if, let's use the example again, a guy gets on the call, he's trying to ego me, he's trying to posture himself in a way that he's not. I clearly know that. Now, what do I need to do as a sales rep if that situation occurs? Who knows? What is the first route of attack I should probably go if that's the person that I have on the call?
If their ego's so big, why didn't they do it on themselves?
Perfect. That's like the biggest one that I would common sense go after. So ego people on sales calls, great example. They get on the call, they got this big, like when I was 20 and I was doing these calls, people would try to little bro me all the time because they were like 45 years old. And then I would really, really, really break down their walls and find out that they were like divorced pieces of shit that made no money. And so then I would have to find a way to weaponize that against them to make them realize that they are the fucking problem of why they're not successful. And that's obviously, hopefully, what my product solves, right? But that's the skill of being a really good sales rep, is you can do that without being a dick and without hurting people like really bad and kind of not offending people. Because men especially, we're very what's the word? Abrasive, right? If someone comes at you in a hostile way, you will immediately react hostile back towards them. So this is like the inner game of sales, is like, okay, so I understand, like, oh, we'll role play, right? So that guy, Ali. So we realize he has this ego. That's the route I need to go. Is I probably need to break down that ego. How do I do that without kind of making him hostile towards me immediately, right? Because once that happens, you're not going to save the call. I need to then diagnose in his past life why he is like that, so that he comes to the realization on his own that that's the reason. I can't tell him, hey, bro, your ego's too big. That's why you're not successful. That will never work. So again, what is the biggest thing we teach you guys in Discovery is you're asking questions to make people do what?
Open up.
Open up, yes, but what's the main reason we ask questions in the way we do? The open-ended way.
Realize on their own without having to tell them.
Yes. That's the big secret of sales and communication, is you need to realize it without me telling you directly what it is. Because once I do that, then like it's not a conversation anymore, it's a sales call. And then people get defensive, they're going to get off, right? So, hey dude, I totally understand. You got this big ego, right? Where are you going? Like we'll role play this one. So like, hey dude, I totally understand why you're like this. Or excuse me, not why you're like this. I totally understand. That's what I'm going to say. In my head, I'm like, I know why you're like this. So I totally understand. Are you married right now, or would it be good to have your wife on this call as well? That's something I would literally ask to get a logistical, not for the partner objection. I want to know if he's married or not because of his personality, like genuinely. So, oh no, I'm divorced. Oh dude, I'm sorry to hear that. Like how long ago was that? And then I'm going to start going down that rabbit hole of like, oh, a couple years ago. Okay, like, again, this could be none of my business. Let's say I'm selling a fitness offer, okay? And the guy has a big ego and thinks he doesn't need it, but he's on the call. So, I mean, damn, bro, that sucks. I'm very sorry to hear that. Like, obviously, it's not any of my business, but I'm just curious if it relates to anything at all. Like, was there like one big main reason? Yeah, man, like the attraction just wasn't really there. We kind of had like a falling out. It just wasn't the same as when we were married earlier. Boom. I know exactly why this guy got divorced. And I know his most sensitive, painful problem in life. The attraction wasn't there, probably because he got out of shape. If I'm on a fitness offer, that's why. Because he's on a call to learn about fitness, right? He probably got out of shape. His wife probably wasn't attracted to him anymore, right? He probably wasn't putting in the work himself for his wife to have respect for him. Again, now do you guys see the pyramid in your brain as I'm saying these things? Boom, no respect. Boom, no security. Boom, no love, no intimate relationship. Like it literally fits in like a puzzle piece. So then I would go down that route and I would try to make him realize on his own through my question asking, oh, fuck, my wife lost attraction to me because I started being lazy and I stopped doing the things and the habits that I had when we first got married. So now this call has gone from this guy's trying to ego me. Oh, dude, I'm successful. I make all this money. to now he's like a little, like you basically brought up the inner child of this guy by the end of that call, if you handled it correctly. And now he's this little sensitive child that is like hurt and painful. And he's like, oh shit, this is my fault. I stopped working on myself. Therefore, I lost my relationship. Do you see how crazy of a drastic difference that is? That is what makes a really good sales rep a really good sales rep. Not, hey, bro, like, so here's how the coaching fitness offer works. Or, hey, you want to get in shape? Like, tell me a little bit about your fitness desires. That's not an emotional need. That's not a psychological need. That's not a human behavior driver. None of that is. At the end of every single offer, whether it's make money, it's trading, it's fitness, whatever the fuck it is, there's a real, massively painful problem that is under the surface. And that's what you need to sell on, not on your offer, not on this mechanism, not on this unique fucking thing. It's that. Now on B2B, this changes a little bit, but it's still true. The psychological need is still there, but then it becomes more of a responsibility issue. Because once let's say you're selling B2B to a sales manager and you're selling him like some sort of software like Kendo AI, you're selling him Kendo AI because he needs to basically improve the performance of a sales team, right? Now, if I go mad emotional right off the bat with that guy, it's not going to work well because he's going to be like, what the fuck are you talking about? But if I understand that we're both going to play this game of acting like this is only about business, but I really know what the main driver is that hierarchy of needs. Like, why, if he's the sales manager, does he feel the desire? One of you guys answer this. Why does he feel the desire to improve the performance of his team?
He'll get fired if he doesn't.
Well, that's a security need. Why else? There's a bigger one. Especially in business, there's a really big one. Why people move.
He want to be the man.
He wants to be the man. He wants people to respect him. He's working in a company, so he's not the A player, right? He's not the man. He's not the founder. He's an employee, which is fine. Like, that's 99% of people on earth. You're very rarely going to speak to like a CEO type of person, which is a different kind of sell. But that person, we need to serve in our conversation not only the business logistical side of like, yeah, here's how it works. Like, obviously, here's how it's going to increase performance, blah, blah, blah. That's easy shit. But the real driver there, if we're looking at it from a psychological point of view, is if I really help this guy compound the performance of his team, he's going to make more money. He's going to have more respect. And he's going to have more upside in his career. So again, if we go back to this hierarchy of needs, more money, security, more respect, more love, right? Because he has power now. He has money. Self-esteem. Oh, I'm the man. Oh, my boss just promoted me, right? Now I have respect in the company because I just made this move. I just bought from you guys. I brought you on. I'm the reason that we're working with your software that just really, really increased the bottom line of our company. But the underlying issue or reason is all of these things, not this AI software helps you do blah, 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 and helps it be more efficient. So this, guys, this is the shit. You get good at this, you will literally be able to manipulate every single person that you encounter in your life. Everyone. No matter what it is, whether it's a sales call, whether it's a relationship. Again, manipulate doesn't mean bad. Manipulate is a neutral word, right? But you will literally unlock the superpower of I can make people do whatever I want and feel any type of way that I want. Now I've mastered sales. That's what it looked like. So any questions off of that? Because I know that's it's like a new topic, but I'm telling you guys, this is what I was the best at. I've never seen anyone in the sales space talk about this in the same level. NEPQ is kind of like this, but like NEPQ is like, it's too fake is the problem with NEPQ is it's too organic and it's too like, oh, how does that make you feel? There are ways to say, how does that make you feel without fucking saying, well, how does it make you feel? You know, like that's the same as telling you how you feel. Whereas I could simply ask you like, oh, dude, that sucks. Again, like the divorce side, dude, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm curious, like what was like the reason for that, or like how did that impact your life at the time? I'm getting the same response, but now it's a real conversation. It's like a man-to-man conversation. It's not like sales rep to prospect conversation. That's the golden gap for you guys. So there is gap selling, of course. Like, hey, I want to be here. I'm here now. But like, why is there a gap? What is the actual gap? It's an emotional, psychological, human behavior need gap. And if you fix that, you can sell anything to anybody, anytime. Jose.
This might be a bit of an obvious question for you, but how do you get better at having less of superficial conversations so you can have better answers and therefore like getting deeper into the problem and being able to execute on that you're speaking about?
You have to make it feel like you actually care. So like when I'm on sales calls, I'm obviously on a sales call, but I genuinely, because again, I'm a manipulator, bro. Like I can manipulate the shit out of people. Okay. So I can get on a call with a complete stranger and I can make them feel like I genuinely am like pained to hear what they're saying. That is simply a learned skill. That's all it is. I think anyone could do that. So it does have to do a little bit of your personality, like a little bit, but like that's like the small bit. The rest of it is like actually giving a fuck. So like when I'm on a sales call, I'm intently listening because I have a selfish reason for that is I want to close your ass. So like every little thing you say, like you remember when Ali said, I literally went on like a 5-minute tangent of yelling at Ali, but then I remembered exactly what he said word for word because I listened, because I have a benefit of getting that information is so I can close you. But it also serves the same purpose of oh shit, he remembered exactly what I just said like 10 minutes ago. Like I can loop back to the conversation and they're like, oh wow, he actually cares. He's actually listening. Whereas like a lot of sales reps, I hate this, bro. I just yelled at a guy. Let me take this Lucy out of my mouth. Logan had a guy on this cleaning offer that I would literally be doing a role play with him or trying to have a sales meeting and talk to him. And I would be talking and he'd go, and I yelled at this guy one day. I was like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, first off, I can hear myself talking to you because you're just going, You think it makes you seem like you're active listening. Whoever told you that is a retard because you are one, just annoying me. And two, that's fake as shit. You don't care about what I'm saying. It's going in one ear and out the other. And I can tell because you're just going, oh, okay, okay. Like, you guys have heard salespeople do that. It's fake as shit. The right way to do it is like, you're telling me something. Every one of my reactions is different. It's not the same thing. It's not like, Like when I do it, I genuinely, I'll look at myself on the camera and I'll watch my body language. Like as I'm listening, I'll watch my body language and theirs. And I'll be like nodding my head and they'll tell me something and I'll literally raise my eyebrows. Like this is like, bro, humans, your brain has developed in such a way that the smallest movement on your face, Jose, I know exactly every emotion you're feeling from the smallest movement on your face. Like that is an ability we all have from survival, right? It's a biological thing we've learned. So I leverage that and I extra use that. So if someone tells me something shocking, I'm like, oh, dude, holy shit. Instead of, oh, dude, holy shit. You see the difference? It's such a big difference. So that, and then also actually listening to people. And then they feel like, holy shit, this guy really cares about me. And now, do I care? Yes. But do I care about making money? Fuck yes. Like, you can do both. It's not mutually exclusive.
Yeah, I think sometimes we overcomplicate stuff and it's just like a conversation, generally listening to people and just person to person. And yeah, I agree.
I'm telling you, bro, like this, we're going to start hammering this. This is going to be like the new way we teach sales. And I'm going to come up with some cool name for it so it sounds cool on Instagram. But like, this is the shit. Like, this will make you better than everyone ever. Like, bro, I'm telling you, like if I was an evil guy, I could be the most manipulative person to women ever. Men are easy to manipulate. Women are way easier to manipulate. And if you can learn how to pull strings in people's brains, dude, I'm telling you, you can sell anything to anybody. Like it is a real skill. It's like learning to ride a bicycle, but no one thinks of it this way. You guys all, and really like it's kind of our fault because I haven't really thought of making you guys learn it this way because I had to sit and think, why am I good at this? But then I teach it to someone else and they're not good at it. Like what's the disconnect? I think it was that was the disconnect. So like, you guys need to learn this gap of like making up for it with a psychological, that sort of thing. Kishan's joining from the room behind me. But like, dude, you have your objection handling tracks, right? You have your objection handling process. That's all good. That's all fine and dandy. It's not bad. But that's like 20%. 80% is this stuff. Like I promise you guys, if you can do this, you will have like the best close rate ever. Damn, Sai. Bright as fuck. What else we got?
How do we better implement this, like as of today?
So we're gonna create material about it. One, this coaching call I think is worth like $10,000. So I'm gonna put this call in for you guys so you can rewatch it. But go study this shit on your own time. Like that's how you get good at anything. You put time in learning, right? Like I learned about all of this. That's why I'm such a good marketer. Like I am literally the sales guy, right? Like when's the last time I did a closing call with you guys? Like a coaching call? Never, right? But like how fire is what I'm telling you right now. It's not because I'm taking calls every day. It's because I know people. Like everything is people. So like why am I a good marketer? Because I know what gets people like to do whatever I want. Like whether it's a funnel or whether it's to click on an ad or whether it's to like DM me from my Instagram story. Like it's all marketing, right? So if you can learn these skills, then everything else just builds on top of it. Sales, marketing, persuasion, relationships, team building. Like that's a big one, bro. Like to keep a team, to keep a good team intact, you have to literally be, as a leader, you have to be like a master manipulator. Like why is Kishan working with me instead of going and doing something else? Like he could. Like he totally could. But it's because, and again, it's not, manipulate doesn't mean bad. That's not a bad word. We have a great relationship. So I believe, and you like we can get Kishan's example, but I believe Kishan chooses to work with me because he believes in me, he loves me, like he genuinely loves me, and he would rather work with me than he would go do something on his own, even if it meant a little bit more money. Like that's again, human needs. Like it's the same thing. So like all of this compounds. So now I can build teams. Now I can market. Now I can do sales. Now I can convince someone to leave a company and come work for me when I'm building like a software unicorn or something. Like that at the highest level of business, that's how it works. It's all a people business, all of it. And you guys are like step one, which is sales, which is awesome because you can make money with this skill. But like, dude, how fucking insane is it that I can just get good at manipulating you and I can make 30 grand a month from doing it? Like that's so crazy to me. Simon.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm like
So
fucking parched.
so I'm not sure if you remember that call with the in the last offer with Sandra, that guy who got a lot of money with the McLaren with those cars.
Dude, that's
So-
exactly the example that I was just talking about. I was thinking of that guy.
So that guy, I know you said like the ego team, we should increase their ego. But that guy was like, he wasn't making the money that he wanted to make with the cars, but he was already rich, so he wasn't looking to make money. He was looking to get more money of the cars. So how do you try like to find, oh bro, how that make you feel like not making the money that you want to make with the cars? Would you go that path like, I mean he's already rich, or could you go the path like, bro, you could make 1,000 more? I know you like money, you could make more money with your method. What kind of things would you tell that guy to actually sell him?
Okay, great question. So this is where you guys need to be smart and understand nuance and situations, right? So what Simon's referring to is we were managing an exotic car offer. We had a prospect come on a call. Sandro absolutely fucking bombed the call, did terrible, because he didn't understand this. And Sandro's a good rep, and he just didn't understand this. The guy came on the call and was literally like, Sandro's talking to him, and he's like eating like beef jerky, like looking off into fucking space. And Sandro was like, oh, hey, bro, like, are you going to sit down and talk to me, or we're just have to like end the call or something? Piss the guy off. It's not how you serve rich people. Rich people are on their own time, okay? First off, you gotta know how to sell to rich people. They're on their own time. He has more status, more authority, more money, and more everything than you do, Sandro. This is what I told him. So the problem was not only that, he didn't understand who he was selling to. Like, label the guy. Okay, rich guy. Okay, rich guy with big ego. Okay, I can't try to make him come down to my level. It's not going to work. It'll never work. But what I can do is meet him where he is and make him start to realize, oh, fuck, I'm missing something here. Like that's a doable thing, right? So Simon, great question. Here's exactly what I would have done. And I guarantee you I'd have closed that guy if I had that call, okay? So he's already rich, right? So this guy, for context, guys, he's renting out cars already, but he's renting them out on Turo. So he had like a 720S and like a Mercedes. He's renting them out on Turo. He's probably making 20% what he should be making daily from each rental because he's not knowing what to do the right way, renting it out on his own website, whatever. So Simon, he's already rich. So I don't want to go the route of like, oh, bro, you can make so much money. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm already rich, right? I don't really want to go the route of like, oh, bro, like you need to get on my level. Like, let's sit on the call together. Like, do we need to reschedule? He's already rich. It's not gonna work. He doesn't give a fuck, right? In his eyes, like we need him. He doesn't need us. So we need to make him and his selfish interests get served. So how do we do that? Is we go after the pain of what is currently happening. So he was already renting cars on Turo. He was making pennies of what he should be making. So I would have gone straight after that. I would have been like, hey, dude, listen, I totally understand. Like, obviously go down to Discovery, like, hey, you're renting out the cars now. Okay, you got these cars in the fleet. Okay, what are you making a day from these cars right now? Oh, I'm making like $200 a day from the 720S, like $100 a day on the Mercedes. Then, oh, shock. Dude, you're only doing $200 a day on the McLaren? Yeah, why? Now, we're not in an ego battle. We're in a battle of, he's like, oh, what the fuck do I not know? That he's like having this reaction to me saying I'm making $200 a day. Because to a rich person with a big ego, what does that do, Simon?
I think it pisses them off. I mean, they get angry at ourselves because we're trying to get them emotional. They just want to get more money. Well, more money with what are you doing?
No, you missed the whole point. Okay. I'm gonna say it again. It's very easy. Very easy. So he's already making money. He's already rich. Okay. He's already renting the cars out. So in his eyes, in the current situation, where's the gap? There is no gap. Like, why does he need to work with us? He doesn't. So I need to create that gap by creating the pain, by going after the psychological needs of this person. So someone said it in the chat. I want to make him feel stupid. I want himself to make himself feel stupid because of what I said. So I don't want to say, oh, dude, you could be making way more money from these cars. You're not doing it right. Again, what happens? I'm rich, big ego, hostility, sales call, right? So instead, he says, yeah, I'm making $200 a day from the 720S. Oh, like freak out a little bit. Like, dude, what? You're only doing you're doing $200 a day from the 720S? Yeah. Why? Bro, that's like 10% of what you should be getting a day from that car. Like, I don't know how you're renting it out right now, but like genuinely, that's like mathematically, it's like 10%. Now what happens? I'm not selling to him. He's going to start asking me questions because he has an ego. He wants to be the man. He's already used to being the man because he's rich. So he already has this big self-image of himself. So anything that goes against that current self-image, like let's say now he's stupid because he's renting his car out for $200 a day. He thinks he's here. Now after I said that, he's like, oh shit, I'm stupid. There's a disconnect here. So he's going to try to fill that gap on his own by asking me questions. And boom, he's fell into my trap. Now we're in discovery phase. Now I can close him. So then he would literally have asked, he'd be like, okay, so like why? Like why do you say it's 10%? Well, to be honest with you, John, like what are you renting your cars out on right now? Oh, Turo. Okay, is that the only place? Yeah, it's the only place. Okay. So that's probably the first thing, bro, is Turo like limits the amount of money you can charge for daily rentals. And they also have age limits. So they're really not good to get that rich clientele, but it's going to pay you $1,000 a day for your 720S like it deserves. Like, John, how much is your 720S when you bought it? Oh, like $260,000. Dude, you're renting out a $260,000 car for $200 a day. Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? No, I mean, I guess it doesn't make sense. You see how smooth we're already into this shit. So then it's going to go down into like, okay, I'm doing it on Turo. Like, what do you guys do? Oh, now I can tell you what we do, which by the way, that's what we'll show you how to do, which by the way, this is the whole point of the sales call. Do you get it now?
Yeah.
That
Gotcha.
person, I never would have tried to go emotional because he came on the call with such a like a different vibe that like you got to understand, guys, like the nuance here. And this comes from just repetition, but there's a big nuance between like that guy. He came on the call. He's like eating chips and shit, wasn't even looking at the call. And then Sandro tried to get him to focus and give him his time and attention. And the guy got mad. Whereas he should have been just patient. Just be patient. Come around. So Sandro should have sat there and been like, okay, dude, like, no problem. Like, eat your jerky, whatever. I would have asked. I would have literally been like, hey, what are you snacking on? Oh, beef jerky. Okay, teriyaki or pepper? Oh, teriyaki. Okay, cool. So then get in the call. Like, now it's not a sales call. It's a conversation. Like, do you get the difference? Like, do you guys see this clearly? Or is this like going over your head? What did Devin say? Well, he's never sold to people like that, so he didn't know any better. But you have to learn that stuff by experience. But you got to meet people where they're at, bro. You got to break down their walls. You got to remember that fucking pyramid that I just showed you guys. And you got to, and again, let's use the pyramid on that guy too. So he currently is doing $200 a day. He should be doing 1,000. So what's this gap for him? It's a couple $1,000s a month. Maybe it's 10K a month, right? Is that going to change his life? No. So I can't use the psychology of like, oh, 10K, more security, more abundance, more power. No. So what is the psychological need there that needs solved? Who can get it? He's already rich.
Ego of doing things wrong.
Yes, exactly. So that would have been like kind of a self-esteem one. It's a nuanced one, but it's self-esteem. It's like, oh, I don't want to do things wrong. I don't want to do things the wrong way. Like some people, if they're rich, will literally buy something just so they don't think that they're doing it wrong. Because their ego rules them. So now they're like, oh, I'm so good at everything. Fuck, I can even rent out cars the right way. Like that's how they feel now. That's fine. They'll buy because of that. So, any final questions? Because that's a lot. I need to get off here. That was a fucking lesson, bro.
I can do the last one.
Yeah.
Let's say the same vibe because in the triage call I was doing in that same offer, I got a guy like the same vibe with this guy. He was like, oh, I already got some cars to rent. I'm just looking to scale. He was like, okay. I was trying to go the whole long how you been trying to scale a guy with that kind of stuff. He said, and I asked him, what do you think you need the most help to scale? He was like, oh, I just been doing this for the last year. I guess it's a matter of time. I was like, okay, why are you reaching out to Jaden then? Oh, he was like, oh, the better I know, the better I'm going to get. So what I'm curious, like, I'm wondering, like, with this kind of guy, like, they say the same vibe, but they already have their business. They are making the money that they want to make with the cars, but they are just trying to scale. And they're saying, no, bro, I mean, it's just a matter of time for me to actually scale because I just been doing this for the last year. Would you go to the path like, and do you think that with what you know you'll be able to scale your business, or would you be able to? Would you go to the path like, bro, you need to scale that business because you're losing a lot of money? What path would you go?
Time. Time is the most valuable asset we have, Simon. So if he said, oh yeah, I'm already doing good, I'm already making money, I already have cars, none of those will appeal to him. But he literally told you, like he said to you what the problem is. Oh, I don't have the time. I need more time. What does that mean? Basically, oh, I already have money, so my time is now worth even more money than if I was poor. Because when you're poor, all you have is time. When you're rich, all you have is money. And you're playing a constant battle of like a balance between the two. So if he told me that, I would have been like, okay, dude, so like how many hours a week do you spend on this right now? I don't know, like, what's a lot of hours a week for something? I don't know, like let's say 60. 60 hours, okay. And how much are you guys making? Oh yeah, we're doing like 60K a month. So pretty good. Yeah, dude, that's awesome numbers. So why are you reaching out? It's just, dude, it's taking a lot of time. I'm not really sure like how to optimize things, maybe systemize things. Like it's taking so much time that it's almost not worth it. Boom. That's the problem. So if he doesn't have time, relate it back to the psychological needs. If you have a lack of time, what do you also have a lack of? Probably a lack of family time, right? probably a lack of personal time to work on stuff for yourself, probably a lack of time to just enjoy life and enjoy the money that you're making. There's a lot of things that come off of that, right? So I would have angled it like that. I'd have been like, okay, dude, like, listen, no worries. So first off, it's awesome you're already making money. So you're going to be even easier for us to help. Our personal car rental business takes us about 10 hours a week. So you're spending 60 right now. We take about 10, and we're doing a little bit more than you are numbers wise, but you're doing very good for yourself. So would it make sense, because you were the setter for this call, right? So would it make sense if we can get you on a call with one of our coaches and kind of run you through how we could not make you more money, because you're doing pretty well. Maybe we can add a couple thousand, whatever. But what if we could cut, let's say, in half the amount of time you spend on this every week? What if we could cut that in half and you still make the same amount of money? Would that be worth a conversation? Yeah, dude, that's awesome. Boom, keep a call.
Thank you.
It's time. Time is important. Time is valuable. So I got to get off here. You guys hurt my brain.
Well, where can we
my
find this?
My eyes like bloodshot from talking about this.
Where can we find this call?
I'm going to put it in Discord immediately after it ends because I have it on Fathom.
All right, appreciate it. Have a good one.
Of course. Thank you guys. Thank you for coming.
Go, Luke. Thank you.
Thank you, boys. I'll see you later.